Hey folks, and today we're talking about Blade Runner. Yeah, the sci-fi classic where Harrison Ford chases down robots, and somehow, instead of being an action movie, it turns into 2 hours of people staring at each other in slow motion while neon signs flicker in the background. So, let's get into it. Alright, so this movie is set in the far-off future of 2019. Yeah. Remember when people thought 2019 was going to be flying cars and cybernetic clones? Turns out all we got was TikTok and people eating Tide Pods. Real letdown. So in this future, Earth is a total dump. There's smog everywhere, it's always raining, and the biggest advancement in technology seems to be really big depressing billboards. Harrison Ford plays Rick Deckard, a Blade Runner, which sounds cool, but really just means he's a grumpy detective whose whole job is to hunt down replicants. These are artificial humans who look, act, and feel just like real people, except, with shorter expiration dates. So the big conflict here is that these replicants, led by Rutger Hauer as Roy Batty, yeah, that's his name, have come back to Earth after escaping some off-world labor camp. And what do they want? Revenge? World domination? Nah, they just want to live longer. That's it. These guys escaped from space, killed a bunch of people, and their master plan is to politely ask for a longer warranty. Now you'd think, hey, just let them live. But nope. Society decided that instead of giving them rights, we should just send Harrison Ford out to shoot them one by one. Real progressive future we've got here. Now, if you've never seen Blade Runner, you might think it's an action-packed sci-fi thriller. It's got lasers, robots, a detective chasing criminals. But, no, this movie is slow. Yeah, there are some fights, but most of it is just people staring at each other like they forgot their lines. You ever have a conversation where someone takes like 5 minutes to answer a simple question? That's every scene in this movie. It's like watching an art student try to explain their painting. Except instead of a painting, it's Harrison Ford looking confused in the rain. Now, if there's one thing this movie gets right, it's the atmosphere. This place is dark, wet, and miserable. Kinda like Times Square if all the tourists got replaced with robots. There's neon everywhere, weird floating advertisements, and for some reason, every building looks like it was designed by a guy who really hates sunlight. And of course, the music. Yeah, it's this eerie, dreamy synth soundtrack by Vangelis. You ever listen to music that makes you feel like you're floating through space, but also kind of want to take a nap? That's the whole soundtrack. It's haunting, it's beautiful, and it really sets the mood for a movie where nobody ever smiles. So let's talk about the big debate. Is Deckard, the guy hunting replicants, actually a replicant himself? Well, nobody really knows. Ridley Scott, the director, says yes. Harrison Ford says no. The movie just kind of shrugs and says, figure it out yourself. Now, you'd think the guy hunting down robots would probably know if he was one himself. But then again, maybe he's just not that bright. I mean, this is a guy whose entire detective strategy is walk into a room, say nothing, and hope the answers come to him. Now, Rutger Hauer as Roy Batty. Man, this guy steals the whole movie. He's got bleach blonde hair, creepy blue eyes, and the strength of a vending machine that just ate your dollar. He's terrifying, but at the same time, he's the most human character in the whole movie. At the end, he finally catches up to Deckard, and instead of killing him, he just lets him live. And then he gives that speech, the famous Tears in Rain monologue. He talks about all the incredible things he's seen, and then just like that, he dies. No big explosion, no dramatic fight, just a guy who wanted more time and didn't get it. And, yeah, it's pretty sad. You don't expect to walk into a sci-fi movie about robot cops and walk out thinking about the meaning of life, but here we are. So, Blade Runner is slow, moody, and kind of a downer. But man, is it beautiful. It's one of those movies where the more you think about it, the better it gets. It's not about action. It's about identity, memory, and, staring dramatically into the rain. If you like deep sci-fi movies that make you question reality, this is a must-watch. If you want something a little more straightforward, maybe try Total Recall. You know, a movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger blows stuff up instead of having an existential crisis. Alright, that's it for me. Go watch Blade Runner. Or don't. I mean, I'm not your artificial intelligence overlord. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Or just sit in the rain and think about your own mortality. See you next time.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the 10-house gate. All those moments will be lost in time, like tears.